Good morning, little children. This is Mr. Moorhead coming to you live from Cleveland Middle School and the beautiful campus. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are going to check out our next explorer, our next person in the story. So let me catch you up to where we are. We have Prince Henry the Navigator. He has created this school. He has sponsored all of these different people, but unfortunately, he has passed away. Now, we know that he passed away near broke. His descendants, his like grandnephews and grandnieces, will eventually find what he was looking for. Remember, he was looking for gold. They do find it, and when they find it, Portugal has become arguably the richest country on the planet. Now, what Portugal will do, they're going to sponsor a new explorer, and he is Bartholomew Diaz. And it's so strange because he does a lot for exploration, but we like never hear of the guy. So we're going to take a look at him today, and we are going to see what he does. So make sure you're paying attention. Okay, we need to look at the continent of Africa for just a little bit. Up here is Portugal, okay? Now let me show you where Portugal has gone since the death of Prince Henry the Navigator. They have made it all the way around here, okay? And right here is where the gold was. They have set up trading posts here. Now, if I could take a map from Portugal from back then, they would have this part of Africa, and then this would be blank. Now, let me tell you what the general thought was about Africa back then. This comes from the Greeks and Romans. Remember, the Age of Exploration is about the same time as the Renaissance, so they're studying all these ancient Greek and Roman texts, and the idea is that Africa never ends, okay? That it kind of loops around. So technically, if you were in Africa, you could keep walking and walking and walking, and you would pop up on the other side of the globe, like a circle. You can see me here. It's like I'm doing a weird TikTok dance. You see that? All right. So Africa doesn't end. Now, one of my favorite things about the Age of Exploration, it's obviously the exploring part, but there is as much espionage, spying, causing like other countries problems so that they can't explore. There is as much of that as there is exploration, and it's kind of cool. So you will see these countries, they go after each other, they try to kill each other's explorers, they try to steal information. It's really cool. And here is one of our early examples of this. Portuguese spies in the Italian city-states have stolen a map. And this map shows that Africa ends. And it stops. If Africa ends, you can do something. Think to yourself, what can you do if Africa ends? I hope you got it. You can go around it. So if Africa ends, you can go around it. There we go. Okay? You're going around. Now here is what they think. If you can go around Africa, if that is possible, then you could probably get to Asia that way and see all this stuff that Marco Polo said he saw. Because you've got to remember also the Mongol dynasty has fallen. You can't go across the Silk Road anymore. You have to pass through all these kingdoms. There's a good chance you'll be robbed and killed on the part that weren't controlled by kingdoms. So trade has shut on the Silk Road. So we now have the Portuguese saying, hey, since we can't get through the Silk Road, maybe we go this way if Africa does end. So they're going to send a guy out, and they're going to say, here's the map that we've got. We want you to see if Africa ends. Now, another cool thing, sometimes countries would make fake maps to get other countries to waste all their money looking for something. So the Portuguese do not know if this map is real. They don't know if it's fake, but they are going to send Bartholomew Diaz. Bartholomew Diaz is going to leave with some ships. He's going to go around here. Everything is kind of smooth to this point. Remember, there are Portuguese trading stations along here. But once he gets to this point, everything is new. So hopefully you can see my mouse. Nobody's gone below this via the ocean before. So he has been sponsored by King John. He is the new king of Portugal. And King John says, see if Africa ends. And oh, while you're there, we want to see if Prester John, see if anybody knows anything about Prester John. And if Africa doesn't end, just go on to Asia. Just keep going. So we have Diaz. He leaves here. He's going down the coast, and he has a supply ship that is slowing him down. So he is going to drop the supply ship off here, and he is going to continue on with his faster ship. Now, the Portuguese had invented a ship back then. It's a caravel. You guys will see it in a picture in just a little bit. I believe you'll see it. It's a very, very fast ship, and it can do something. It can sail with the wind, or it can sail against the wind. So this is a new invention. All right, it can sail with the wind, or it can sail against the wind. So it's very maneuverable, but this other big supply ship is just slowing him down. So as he takes down the coast, he's going to be hit by a storm. And this storm probably saves him, if you can believe that. This storm sends him all the way out into the Atlantic Ocean, like way out here. Normally that would be a death sentence. But what he doesn't know, and what is not on his map, is this coast right here is really rocky. This is called the Skeleton Coast. If you go right here, you see skeletons everywhere where ships have crashed. And you might, it's his actual name is Skeleton Coast. So you would see human skeletons, animal skeletons. But nonetheless, this is very harsh. There's also a secret he finds when he is knocked out into the ocean. There's a wind that works like a slingshot. So he comes out here. Now he's farther out than I can show on the map. But this wind slingshots him around Africa. He has no idea where he is. He is all the way over here. And he starts to kind of turn back. And as he turns back, he understands the geography. Africa does end. He has figured out that Africa ends. Here it is. He has landed. He understands that there is a cape there. That's the formation. So Africa does end. He proved you can go around Africa. When you prove you can go around Africa, remember his next command is just go on to Asia. But right here, his sailors said no. We've been gone for 2 years. We survived a massive storm. We don't know where we are. How many more years will we be gone to Asia? Diaz kind of lost control of this, and he said, okay, we'll turn the boat around and go home. So he turns around here, kind of works the slingshot thing. He is back up to here. Word is already spread that Diaz is returning home. He gets back home to Portugal, and he kind of gets a hero's welcome. Now, we didn't know much about Diaz to begin with. We know he had some sailing experience. We know that, I believe his family was some sort of royalty or high-ranking military. But he is never allowed to lead an exploration again. So we are thinking, if we put the information together, that Portugal must have been mad that he got that far and then stopped because of the mutiny. Now, mutiny is when a crew rebels against their captain and says, hey, we're not going to do what you say. All right? It's kind of like what my kids do on a long trip. All right? That's a mutiny. So nonetheless, he has proved Africa ends. Since Africa ends, this is a huge discovery. And again, you got to remember, somebody knew this before. There was a map of it. I just don't know who it was. This is a huge discovery because what if you can go around Africa? You don't have to use the Silk Road anymore. That means you can go to China. You can get all of these goods. They're going to be so much cheaper, just like they were when the Mongols were controlling everything. So let's take a couple of looks. This is Diaz here. We know he comes from some sort of noble family. He had some sailing experience. We just don't know what it is. And here is King John. That's the look like he smelled something. He's like, is that you? I smell something. It's not me. I think that's you. That's the kind of look. Now, you see this João, that's Portuguese for John. So, at any rate, he is fascinated by the story of Prester John. There's basically not much addition to this story from the trip. The big thing from the trip is you are able to get around Africa. You can go to India. You can go to Asia that way. You can bypass the Silk Road, which has now collapsed because the Mongols are no longer there. Now, here's a statue to Diaz. You can see it there. And one other thing that still exists, if you see right here this marker, okay, it's, you could almost think of it as like a concrete cone, like a construction cone. Everywhere that Diaz landed in Africa, he put these down, okay, to mark that the Portuguese had been there. So I think of a story where these kids went into the woods and they tied a ribbon around a tree so that they can mark their path back. That's kind of what he did there. So he put these markers into the areas of Africa. All right. Now, you still see some, excuse me, some of Diaz's contributions. You can see that that corner, let me go back just a little bit. This corner of Africa right here, they speak Portuguese even to this day. When Mr. Moorhead was much younger, there was this girl that I dated, yes, and she was from Africa. She's from right here, but she had red hair. All right, she kind of looked like the Wendy's girl. So, except she didn't cook. So at any rate, people would hear her accent and they're like, "Where are you from?" And she would say Africa, and they're like, "You don't look African." And she would explain, "No, she's actually European. She's Portuguese. Like her family started moving to Africa shortly after Diaz's discovery, probably within 100 years after Diaz has discovered you can go around it." All right. So again, if we go back to Diaz, this is him. This is his statue. He proves that Africa ends and you can go around it. The next part of the story, we're actually going to see the Portuguese and another country race to see if you can get to Asia by water, to see if that can happen. One of my favorite stories. It's coming up soon. Thank you guys for paying attention. Great job.